started out as a SonShine Club volunteer when I was a young adult. I was about 12 or 13 years old. And I started out on Saturdays. I would volunteer for things like Sunshine Saturday, where we bring kids in to play games and teach them a Bible lesson. And as I became an adult, I became the director of SonShine Clubs for Urban Light Ministries. And learning how to do that, I learned how to study my Bible. I learned how to tell others about God. I learned the importance of knowing God for myself and praying for the people that I was around. And after a few years of that, I went on to school and a few other things. And I'm currently the youth leader of the Salvation Army, where we still get to do SonShine Clubs a couple times a week. So SonShine Club has been a very important part of my life for the majority of my life, and I don't see where I'd be without it. What I personally get out of SonShine Club is I get to maintain the importance of telling our young people about who Jesus is. And that satisfies me, makes me happy to be able to be a big part of their life and of their upbringing, and knowing that when they look back as adults on their childhood, they remember the lessons that we taught them. So SonShine Club is very satisfying to me to be able to participate. Children get a lot out of SonShine Club. I think children get love. They get that extra little bit of love every day. They get their Bible lessons. They learn songs. I've heard of children going home when they're having tough times and they're singing the songs that we learned at SonShine Club, or they're telling their parents about Jesus, who they learned about at SonShine Club. So I believe SonShine Club is important to their foundation and how much and how far they can go in their life and in God even. What would our community be without SonShine Club? I believe that our community would be full of children who didn't know where to go, didn't have any understanding, don't have any understanding of who God is. And then maybe their ideas of what's right and wrong aren't good, or they'll get in more trouble because they don't have that extra person on the side reminding them what's right and wrong. A lot of times our children go with the role models in the media, and I believe that as a SonShine Club leader or volunteer, we're going in and we're saying you don't have to be what the media says. Rather, this is what God says you are, this is how God says He made you, and this is how you can be. And that's what's most important.
In 2006, I had went to a recovery program, a 12-step program. Got clean from drugs, and I ended up meeting Pastor Eli. We was having meetings at the Urban Light Ministry. I met Eli. He told me about a program called NFL, Nurturing Fathers for Life. He asked me if I was willing to take the class. I took the class, and Raymond Lloyd was my teacher, and it was an amazing class. For me, it was in the beginning of my journey. Next month I'll have 10 years clean and recovery. And in the beginning of my journey, I was working the 12 steps, and I took the fatherhood program, and it really helped me see a lot of things that I had pushed inside from a little kid. Things that unresolved issues I had with my father. And the NFL program meant to me was it gave me exercises of nurturing. It really helped me with the whole idea of forgiveness when it came to how I was raised. I was born in an environment to where my father was one of those guys that that worked all the time, full-time Navistar employee, and it was more of a work first, and his way of taking care of kids was more like a financial thing versus an emotional. And what Nurturing Fathers for Life taught me was one, to provide for my children physically, emotionally as well. And that's the thing that has been a big difference for me. When I first got clean, I was a very angry person, scared, because when my daughter was born, I always had a fear that I was going to become my father, that I was going to treat her and do the same things I was, how I was treated, and I always had that fear because I didn't want that for my daughter. And I feel like I've done a pretty good job as far as being a positive role model. Without the fatherhood program, I wouldn't have the education as far as the healthy nurturing practices and the ability to see the difference between right and wrong. I mean that sounds kind of shallow, but when it comes to being a father full time, that class gave me the ability to see right and wrong when it came to being a healthy father. NFL for me, for the community, it gives the guys that like me have stuff inside them but don't know how to get it out and don't know how to, all of us, want to take care of our kids, but a lot of us don't know how. There's a lot of different things going on as far as violence and drugs, and when you're a father, you do what you see. So I think this class and this program will give people more positive things to look forward to versus in drugs and